Greetings, unsettled souls. Welcome to the Melatonin Mondays.
Prepare to be astonished.
Indeed, and utterly blown away by the fact that, believe it or not, Christelle has brought us today's story, which normally I haven't even heard of the story. I heard of it, but she didn't tell me what it was, like the specifics of it. But I understand it's something to do with rare pussy cats of some kind or something like that. So what do you got? It's from India, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right.
All right, guys. I don't normally do this, but I found this rather interesting. There's nothing we love. Oh, I'm forgetting where it's from.
It's so hyperactive. You were simply too the hyperactive.
Too hyperactive, indeed. There's nothing more we love than a heartwarming animal rescue story. And one man from Israel, oh, I guess I got my eyes confused. Sorry. Helped a group of abandoned kittens out of the kindness of his heart. He soon found out kittens weren't what they thought they were in a shocking discovery.
So the Indian man who is in Israel?
No, he's from Israel. I got my eyes confused.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
A normal drive home.
Yep, normal drive home.
You know, I live in kind of a seedy neighborhood. Sometimes when I'm driving home on a normal drive home, I see a lot of cats on the side of the road, and they're always like propositioning me, and it's not.
I don't think that's the same thing.
All right, go with this. I'm destroying us here.
Hamden, horrible with other names. He was 18 years old.
Well, you got to at least try Chablis.
Chablis. He was driving home from work.
His friend said he was being extremely selfless and would help others whenever necessary. So, like, the cat is like an other. You're going to have to scroll this down, maybe. You can plug them out. It's almost like they're here with us.
Soon enough, he found out that it was much different than he was expecting. And
where did he find them at? Like, did they find them in this particular clump of grass? Well, they are adorable. No, so the jungle cats are rare?
Extremely rare.
They would look much fuzzier, I guess. They said they looked much fuzzier. He didn't really know what to make of the situation, but decided that his best bet was to get them out of harm's way and leave them to their own devices. Oh, that's kind of like the story I covered in the Conservative Daily Post about the guy who got arrested for throwing his dogs on the side of the road. However, there was a however there. It says before he left, he took a picture of the kittens. Oh, that's when they found out, I guess.
He took a picture hoping that someone on the internet would recognize the species of them. And, well, the answers were shocking.
So he found out that they were ultra rare jungle cats. Is that what he ended up finding out here?
Yes, indeed.
The kittens would have hopefully found their way back to their mother if they were wild cats. But on the other hand, he didn't know if they were wild cats at all.
He started to feel guilty. So then he proceeded to go back to the spot of which he found them at. They looked extremely unhealthy, or he was trying to make sure, that they were okay. Did they get abandoned by somebody? What happened? Well, when he got to the spot, they were still there, much to his amazement.
Well, that works. Sickly kittens. As soon as Hammond got the kittens back to the house, he realized that they were in worse shape than he had thought. It looks like they were shot and chewed on. It must be the lighting.
It does.
It looks like he's been scalped. Somebody scalped the jungle cat.
And possibly bleached them.
Is that his brain sticking out of the side, or is that just the lighting?
I hope it's the lighting. I really hope it's the lighting. One of the kittens looked so bad that he was intensely shaking.
Oh, that does kind of suck. I love animals, by the way.
The one that was shaking ended up not surviving.
Oh, you didn't tell me that. I wouldn't have joked about the kittens if I know one of them didn't make it.
Well,
No.
that picture did only show 2. So maybe the bleached kitten survived.
No, I'm pretty sure that's the one that didn't.
That doesn't look by the picture.
Not good. He said he was saddened by the development of the one. I bet he was. They're adorable and they're friendly.
And he was going to do everything that he could to make sure the other 2 survive.
Are jungle cats usually nice, or they can get dangerous, like a lion roar or something?
They tend to be a little bit skittish, aggressive.
Like, you reach down and pet one, I'm sure it'll be safe.
Sometimes they can get aggressive. I mean,
that sounded like a tiger, but okay.
That was a lion.
Well, anyway, he made sure they got the help that they needed. Well, you thought India was in Israel. Hammond knew that he could no longer give the remaining kittens the care that they needed on his own, so he didn't give him to like the Asian bistro or anything. Thankfully, he knew what he could do, and he bundled the kittens into a basket for one last photo before they went on their way. And I guess they went to the nearest veterinary surgery clinic.
Speaking of tigers, I mean, he put them in a tiger blanket. Was he thinking that they were tigers?
Oh, probably not. I think he thought they were house cats.
Could be. The vet took a closer look at the kittens and were able to determine a little bit more. From the weight and the size, the vet could tell that they were just 5 weeks old and that very, very vulnerable.
Well, I wonder if they're going to tell us how they got there. The way they have this set up is very. Anybody reading along with the screen share here has to be like this article was set up by somebody who'd never put an article together before. But they are adorable. Struggling back to health, although the kittens were now in the safe hands of the vets, they were struggling. They like to put that, I guess, struggling back to health. Because they had been so close to death, they wrote, the kittens needed extra special care, attention, and food to ensure that they could fight off the parasites and grow to be strong and independent. So they were ravaged by wormies and everything else.
Everything you could imagine.
Well, they got some moo juice there, maybe, huh?
Yeah, the vets came up with a concoction of milk. I'm not sure what they mixed in with the milk, but they mixed something
Bourbon.
in.
That usually makes me feel better.
They mixed something in with it to make it resemble their mother's milk. And they were growing stronger by the day.
Well, they do look. You can tell that their face is so narrow that they do look a little bit different. Oddly enough, something different. Time had passed since Harmon stumbled across these kittens by the side of the road, and it became more and more obvious that they weren't your usual domestic kittens. Well, yes, I guess we did kind of already tell you that they are jungle cats.
Yes, they were a very rare breed indeed.
That sounded like a dinosaur. He couldn't believe that the vet had told him that it was a rare breed, of course, and that he could pick up the group of kittens from the side of the road. They are incredibly rare. I guess not even just rare now, incredibly rare, and distinguished by their stripes. Ah.
Yep, and they are only, even though they are called jungle cats, they aren't really found in the jungle. Rather, they are found in open plains and swampy areas. Why would you call them a jungle cat?
So if they were in swampy areas, pretty much Trump's trying to get them out of D.C. right now during the whole draining thing.
Oh, no. Trump, don't drain the jungle cats.
Oh, look at the M. It's like a moon cat. I guess all cats have a moon cat. I don't know. I mean, all cats seem to have an M on their head. Endangered species. Despite their beautiful appearance, jungle cats have an unfortunate history. Currently, they're endangered. The cats are native to Southeast Asia. That's where the carp is from. And the Middle East, but have been targeted thanks to their natural instincts to kill animals. As carnivores, the cats will go anywhere to find their next meal and will often kill farmers' livestock across these regions. I guess they're not. I'm glad they're not in India because cows are like worshipped there. These cats would be used as anyone else.
Oh God.
Well, hold on. What was that? That was very strange. Look at the. He's looking like I didn't do anything wrong. Like it's illegal to kill them, but it says that farmers are doing it anyhow.
Yeah, because they're killing their livestock.
Well, look, he's like, I'm come to
I guess
I've come to kill your livestock.
I guess some people take these jungle cats as pets. You know, they don't really think about the consequences.
Well, I mean, at least then, I mean, they're not. If you take it as a pet, at least then the farmer can't shoot at it. So I mean, even if you fail, you tried. It was going to get shot anyway. I guess you're not supposed to look at it that way, but I'm an animal lover. You could try, like if I could try to save a penguin, I'd take the penguin in, and I guess when June rolled around, I wouldn't have a penguin anymore.
I guess they are extremely rare. There's only 602. Now, would that be that there was 600 before this article, and because he found the 3 and 1 died, there's now 2, or would there be 604? They don't really specify that, do they?
No, look at the way the article's put together. It's a miracle they even got all the words spelled right.
Yeah, and now that the kittens are back to health, now they're trying to decide what to do with them.
Too young to survive. Unfortunately, the jungle cats have been abandoned, too young to survive by themselves. And in the wild, they rely on their mother's milk to get them through the 8 weeks of their lives. But the vets had no idea how long the 5-week-old kittens had been abandoned. And full recovery without the aid of their mother's milk was not good. So they got their own formula. The milk contained essential nutrients to keep them alive.
It doesn't specify what other things that it put with it.
It was bourbon.
It had to have been.
It was no chance that they could have survived the ordeal. So there he is, sucking on the little rubber teeth there. Getting back to normal. The milk did the trick. Just 1 week after Hedman was found the jungle cats in the side of the road, they were getting back to normal. Their strength was back. There they are. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm crashed out by myself. I ain't even got my other friend with me. He's on his own. Screw him. Headed to the zoo. Now, see, I was happy to hear this because they can't get hunted in the zoo either. And for people that say you shouldn't have animals in the zoo, the panda has been taken off the endangered species list.
Yes, because they breed them and then send them off to other zoos?
I believe so.
And that's how they keep that number going up? Yeah, they were taken to Jerusalem Biblical Zoo.
I wonder if they were part of Noah's... no, probably not. He left them. That's why I mean... After a couple of weeks of constant care, the jungle cats made a full recovery. They keep saying that. And the vets had to make the decision of where they should go. So, yeah, they went to the zoo. You can go and see them if you are in Israel.
And they had very strategic plan. They took them from the zoo once they were old enough and wandering and everything. They then took them and released them back into their natural habitat
which seems to be a cactus.
These jungle cats like to run free. Think of your household.
So if they like to run free, is that a Venus flytrap? Because he's not running free. Lucky escape. The kittens were rescued by having in the nick of time. They made guess what? They made a full recovery. Who wrote this article? This is the worst article I've ever seen. Yeah, it hurts him too. However, the story shocked people across the world. It's like a water buffalo. And brought to light the horrific lives of wild animals who were taken as pets. You know what? I just think, again, they took them as pets, but they're not getting killed on the farm. Except for farmers are the biggest problem. All right, guys, I know you want something political or you're going to have a fit. So I did see this here on Melatonin Mondays, and it's the last one I'm going to get to. And it is, unfortunately, one of my favorite bands. I have great respect for them. I got to meet Tom Morello. He was extremely nice to us. But again, we all know that Rage Against the Machines are leftists. And I've always been a libertarian, and I got to talk about this with Morello, and I remember he said that there were areas where the two sides agreed.
So would rage for the machine be right?
And it seems like more like they are raging for the machine, unfortunately. And now we have, according to Breitbart, their basis said that anyone who voted for Trump is a racist. Now that's interesting considering the fact that I'm not a racist and I voted for Trump. Kind of a double dumdy for this man here because he's supposed to be raging against the system, and who is he supporting? Already sitting senators and politicians. Anyone who voted, again, I'm not going to go over it. It's according to Tom Comerford. He says that the musician says there is a way for Trump voters to absolve themselves and make it right. In an impromptu interview with TMZ this week, Comerford said that the most urgent issues facing the world today isn't the threat of war from North Korea or environmental concerns, but rather racism. Now, this is coming from a man who has a minority singer. Zach De La Rocha is a man of color. I'm not sure if he's black or not. I believe he is. Not that I particularly care, as Christelle dies here. Not that I particularly care what color he is. But the point is, white America has embraced their singer. I would consider Rage Against the Machine as like a household name. And he's saying they're racist when America's made them rich with a black singer. And again, I don't care that he's black, but do you see a problem there, Christelle?
Yeah, definitely.
When TMZ cameraman asked Comerford about the prospect of DACA beneficiaries being deported, he replied, because our president is a racist. No, it's because they didn't come into the country legally. Is Mexico a racist when they make him leave if he doesn't have a right to stay there? If he doesn't, if this bassist, Comerford, if Billy Boy here doesn't, if he sneaks in, yeah, if he sneaks into Mexico, what's going to happen is he's going to probably be thrown out. Whoever voted for him is racist, he said. Anyone who voted for him is a racist. He's a racist. And as a racist who voted for a racist, you have an opportunity to make it right and admit that you made the wrong decision. I'm glad he doesn't write the lyrics for Rage Against the Machine. I wouldn't be surprised if he wrote the last article. Comerford said Trump supporters could make...
Are you calling him a caddis too?
He could be. He's an idiot. He wants us to say, I effed up. No, I'm glad I voted for the man, you twit. That's what they should say. They should admit that they voted for a racist, and that's how they can make it right. Maybe he should admit that he's wrong about Trump being a racist. I think he said that Trump's been of course he's been an outspoken. The group for Rage Against the Machine performed against Trump to some degree here. The Republican National Convention in 2016. I'm sorry, it was Prophets of Rage, his other band. You've never heard of them because without Zach De La Rocha, nobody cares who you are. Guys, that's Melatonin Monday. Word of the day is Cedar Point. Write Cedar Point in the comment line, the words of the day. And name of the day. You will get something free sent to you. We do need your address because we're not that good at psychic tea leave reading or anything. But write Cedar Point, and the reason is because you can see Christelle at Hollow Weekends.
Quite possibly. And the next article that I do, and yes, there will be a next article, will flow a lot more smoothly.
Oh, no. I mean, good. Good. Now,
if you guys liked it,
we're not pussyfooting around. But I do want to say, again, she is working in one of the haunted houses there. And if you write Cedar Point, when we send you the what it is you're going to get free, we'll make sure we tell you which haunted house she's in. Good night, friends. God bless.